financial control over their lives. So I'm going to get into this training. We'll talk first and foremost about some concepts, getting your mind right about how you need to be thinking. You know, in order to be successful, you've got to be able to think right. You know, the book Think and Grow Rich says thoughts are things. And so if that's true, that thoughts become the things that we have to make sure we're thinking right. And that's one of the most important parts when you wake up each and every day. I heard Tarian Harris, you know, over there when he came on doing introductions. I happened to hear he said, I wake up every day extremely excited. And so I want you to really grab a spirit, a mindset of anticipation for great things to come to you this year. I want you to take resolutions that you made last night, that you've been making today, and I want you to be absolute in your thought process that these resolutions are going to come to pass. We're going to help people get healthier, and we're going to help people get wealthier. And so what we need to do is make sure that everybody has a pen and a piece of paper. Make sure you're taking clear notes. We'll get into this training. And then what we'll do is we'll do a follow-up training. So I'm going to see how this training lays out. And based on how this training lays out, and then I'll start getting feedback from the field. That'll tell us the next level that we need to go to. Now, I'm going to do this training assuming everybody that is watching this webinar, that is listening to the audio, is listening to the voice that's coming over these waves here, I'm going to literally assume that you're all in with Serenigy. If you're brand new and you're looking at this training and you're sizing up, is Serenigy the opportunity for you? I want you just to go ahead and lend yourself, just even if it's for this next hour or so, to say, you know what, I'm in. I'm in. And then you can make up your mind at the end of this and say, do I want to stay in? And so I'm just going to assume that everybody approaches this with I'm in attitude. So the first thing we want to get our minds right is about paying attention. Who have you been listening to? You know, the type of education that we have, plus the system that we plug that education into, that equals the lifestyle that we get to have. And see, most of us, we got a 97% education. Then we came out and we plugged it into a 97% system. What's a 97% system? A job. See, if I go to school for 12 years and then I go to college for some of us that went to college, and we look at that, how much of that was teaching us how to be successful? How much? How much was teaching us about how to run a business, how to have a successful relationship, how to interact with other people, how to be able to manage my finances, how to be able to manage a balance sheet, a financial, spreadsheet. How many of us got taught these things? Hardly anybody. So that educational system was educating us to get general information. Then we came out and we plugged it into a job system. And what we did was we began to work somebody else's dream. And then what we ended up getting was a 97% lifestyle. Now, what's a 97% lifestyle? 97% of the population retire broke. On the way to retirement, they're broke. And when they reach retirement, they're broke. And then they go to their grave broke. That's 97% of everybody that you and I know. Now, we have an opportunity to make a choice. This is the beautiful part about network marketing, about direct sales, is we can choose the type of education that we're getting. So like today, you are getting a 3% education today. And you get to plug it into a 3% system. And that is going to equal a 3% lifestyle. There is no ifs, ands, and buts about it. If I get educated on what 3% of the population does, and I get to plug it into a system that's not a job system, it's a business system, it's a residual income business system, what type of lifestyle can I have? I can have a 3% lifestyle. So what I want to do is I want to learn. And you see I underline the word learn, to live a 3% lifestyle. This is something that's going to be living. You're going to have to experience this. Like Tarian said, he woke up, anticipation, excited. You have to get ready to live, and you live through learning. You don't allow yourself to become complacent, not in 2014. And what we're going to do is we're going to look over our shoulder. I want everybody to participate. I want you to look over your left shoulder. Everybody do it right now. Look over your left shoulder, and I want you to blow a kiss. Everybody give it a kiss. I want you to kiss your past goodbye. It doesn't matter what 2013 brought you, because guess what you just did? Look over your left shoulder again. Give it a kiss. It's gone. It's what I'm going to do in 2014 is going to determine where I end up. I'm going to learn to live this 3% lifestyle. And all I've got to do when it comes to learning, I've got to increase my knowledge capacity. And this comes with competence. Competence is how well you know something. Knowledge capacity. And see, if you go there to the bottom, we'll start at the bottom. It says unconscious incompetence. That means you don't know what you don't know. Then the next step up is conscious incompetence. That means you admit that you don't know something. The next level is conscious competence. Now you get to know something, but you got to think about it. But the big money comes to when you can get to unconscious competence, where the thing that you know that works, you can do it without even thinking about it. It's just a subconscious, it's an unconscious activity that you become. How do I get to unconscious competence and where my business is a machine? I just simply allow myself to learn. And what does that mean? I gotta progress through these levels of competence. Most people, matter of fact, almost every person in the world hardly has any clue when they're born and they're raised about network marketing, direct sales, residual income. Hardly any person, unless your family came up in that. It takes a while for most people to even hear about or get exposed to this incredible industry. So that's unconscious incompetence. And then all of a sudden a person admits it. I didn't know that. I didn't know. See, you might have went to school grades 1 through 12. You might have went to college, and you might not have known any better. And here's the key. Look at the results that you got. Do you like what you've achieved so far in your life financially? Everybody, stop for a second. Close your eyes for 10 seconds. Close your eyes. Look at your bank account. Do you like the amount of money that's in your bank account? Most people say no. That's because of your knowledge capacity and what you've been applying that capacity to. Most of you, you've only filled your knowledge capacity with how to work a job. I was the same way. I didn't know any better. But then I got exposed to network marketing. I got exposed to this big business system, and I admitted it. I said, man, I didn't know that I didn't know this. But then I allowed myself to be taught, so I learned to live this. And I moved to conscious competence. I had to listen over and over. I had to get on training calls. I had to go to seminars. I had to go to presentations. And I went to countless presentations. I went to so many that I learned to do one. I went to so many trainings I learned how to train other people. See, I didn't know it. I admitted I didn't know it. Then I learned it. And then all of a sudden I did it so much and I became so passionate and excited about it that now I know it without even thinking about it. I wake up every day and my behaviors line up with success in this industry. So you will do the same thing if you allow yourself. And I'm going to assume you're all in on this. You're all in today. And see, when we look what Robert Kiyosaki taught us, why do we need to be all in? When he taught about the cash flow quadrant, when he said there's 4 ways to produce income, and he talked about the left side of the quadrant and the right side of the quadrant. On the left side, you have employee, where you have a job and you exchange time for money. And then you've also got self-employed, where you basically you own a job. It's your own business, but it's basically you just own a job because you're still exchanging time for money. Now, on the right side of the quadrant is big business, where you own a system. And that means you have people helping you make money. Other people, not just you. See, as an employee or self-employed, it's just you. When you move to the right side of the quadrant, see, I learned this. I stop, I look. Everybody you stop and you look today, you go, where am I? Where have I been? Where was I taught to be? And how many people over here on the left side get free? So then I go, I'm going to consciously, competently say, nope, I'm going to the right side of the quadrant. How do I go to the right side of the quadrant? When you become a part of Serenigy, you are involved in big business, where now, as soon as you make your product purchase with your pack or you get a virtual business kit, you now own a system, and you leverage people. Me, number one, the founder and the CEO of the company, the one who put this company together. You get to leverage my ideas, my money, my contacts, my manufacturing processes, my legal team, my accounting team, and all of a sudden, even though you didn't really understand totally when you got involved with Serenigy, or for those of you that are going to get involved with Serenigy, you might not understand that this is big business, but it's humongous. You have a multi-million-dollar international company that you now own as soon as you start with Serenigy. Now, what do you do with that? And see, the next type of person on the right side of the quadrant is an investor, where you own investments, and now you have your money helping you make more money. Now, what would your life be like if you had people working hard to help you make money and your money was helping you make money, and both the people and the money were working harder than you were working? What would your life look like? It would be incredible. And see, 97% of the population are on the left side. See, you remember we talked about the education in the system? And what they don't understand is they're sharing in only 3% of all the money. So 3% of the wealth is shared by 97% of the people. There's not a lot of money. That's why most people are broke. 3% of the population share in 97% of the money. So if a line was drawn today, which side would you be on, left side or right side, and which side would you want to be on, left side or right side? Now, if I'm on the right side and I don't have all the money that I want, what do I got to do? I got to increase my knowledge capacity. I got to consciously, competently continue to think about the thing until I get this down. And just like you learn to ride a bike, like you learn to drive a car, like you learn to eat, like you learn to walk, most of you don't have to think about how you walk. But there was a time you had to think about how to walk. You don't have to think about how to drive a car, most of you. You don't have to think about how you write. You just do it unconsciously, competently. And that's what we're teaching you here with Serenigy. And the experts are saying the best option for a big business is network marketing. You look at people like Donald Trump, billionaire. You look at people like Robert Kiyosaki, people like Warren Buffett, people like Paul Zane Pilzer. They say network marketing for the average person, for the masses, is the best way to get involved in big business, because you get to maximize leverage. You can take a few $100, and usually no more than a couple $1,000, and you can control and leverage a multi-million-dollar operation. It's just powerful. Why is network marketing the best option? Well, low startup, potential for high gain. You have a successful system. You don't need to worry about product research and development. You don't have to worry about manufacturing and packaging and warehousing and employees and the high startup cost of most business. That's why network marketing is the best option. But you've got to now take the knowledge capacity of what you just heard, and you've got to now bring the right energy. You have to have an attractive personality, because in order to have other people help you make money, you got to attract more people. You got to learn to have a high level of energy. 2014 is requiring of you, if you want success, to increase your energy level, to increase your passion, to increase the best that you have to bring to the marketplace. You're going to bring great value to the marketplace just by being more energetic than most people. Don't give in to circumstances. Don't give in to your current situation. Give in to positive energy to bring you out. Nothing is impossible to a person that has an attractive personality and that brings high energy. Now, do we have the right industry to put this energy into? Yes, we do. Coffee, $100 billion a year industry, over $100 billion. Number one consumed product on the planet next to water. Number one traded commodity in the world next to oil. Billions of cups served every day. Why is it that we have such an opportunity to make a fortune with this product, to help people at least pay their bills on time, supplementing their income, help people get away from the job and get control over their life to where they like what they do? Do you want to know why? Because most coffee drinkers cannot start their day without a cup of coffee. There's all types of network marketing companies out there. There's thousands. People are involved in trainings all over the world today. 74+ million distributors are involved in network marketing worldwide. About half of those 74 million are in the USA alone. And here's the thing. With all these companies training and teaching and motivating today in this multi-billion-dollar industry, most people have to train on their product. They have to be reminded. How many people have to be reminded to get their cup of coffee every day? See, this is the most consumable product in network marketing. There's no higher consumption. And if we want to get involved in big business, we need high consumption. If we want to get involved in great residual income, we need high consumption. Everybody say high consumption. High consumption. And see, coffee gets us there. And see, what we got to do is we got to expose traditional coffee to maximize our coffee. We got to start letting people know, you know, what traditional coffee has been known to do. It's been known to be high in acid, creating pH imbalances in the body, constricting blood vessels, reducing oxygen levels by up to 30%. Can you imagine 30% of your oxygen decreases up to 30% when you drink traditional coffee? No wonder there's an increase in the risk of arthritis, obesity, diabetes, depression, cancer. It's ridiculous. Increases insulin production, which creates blood sugar roller coasters in most people's body. Dehydrates the body. It's been known to dehydrate the body. And most people don't know that you have to drink about 16 to 18 glasses of water, cups of water, to neutralize the acid in just one cup of traditional coffee. We have an opportunity to make an absolute fortune because we have a healthier alternative. We have a healthier alternative that tastes as good or better, price competitive, and if you choose, it will pay you. And how do we do it? Remember, billions of cups are going to be served every day or consumed every day, whether or not you talk about it or not. And what we're here today is to really get our mindset straight. And I've been teaching this plan for years, but we're going to attack this plan this year because we got 7 billion people in the world with approximately 80% drinking coffee every day on an average of 3 to 5 cups a day. That's over 5 billion coffee drinkers worldwide. Now, our 5 to 7 year goal starts right now. So next 5 to 7 years, our goal is to capture at least 1% of the coffee market. So by the time we get to 2019, no later than 2021, what do we want? We want at least 1% of the market. That will give us a mere 50 million coffee drinkers. If they're just averaging 3-4 boxes of coffee a month, that's around $50 per month. And so if we hit our goal, 50 million times $50, it's $30 billion a year in annual sales, and we pay up to 50% of every dollar that comes in here. So this is why we got to get together today, because that's a potential $15 billion payout in commissions in this theoretical example. Now, there's no guarantees of income. If you don't work, you're not going to make any money. But if we work and we pull together and we leverage each other's efforts and our ideas and our energies, we can help set a lot of people free. By the way, how many millionaires can we create hitting this goal? How many people can we set free? Boy, we can get thousands of people out of their jobs. This is awesome. But you've got to choose a side. Are you going to stay on the left side with 97% of the population employee, self-employed? Are you going to revert? Are you going to give into it? See, when you go build your business, it's not going to be easy to get it moving, but it's going to be worth it. And here's the thing. Most people, they give it a shot at network marketing, and then they succumb to being an employee, to going back doing the same old thing, and they end up in debt, as opposed to getting in here with Serenigy, where we put you on the 3% side. You build the big business through the system that we give you, and the investor opportunity explodes because you've got a surplus of money, and now you got people and investments working, and that gets you to freedom. You choose that side. And see, when we make that choice, what I'm here to do today, January 1st, 2014, I'm saying right now, let's go ahead and start designing this lifestyle. We get to choose our lives. And what most people do is they settle. There's no settling on this call today. There's no settling. This is not a settle call. This is a breakthrough call. This is a rise-up call. This is where we begin to dominate, because we have people that start to go, you know what, I had dreams at one time. And going the way I've been going, I'm not getting there. You remember the dreams of the mansion and the exotic cars and traveling the world, and helping people, helping your family, helping friends if they need it, having your own yacht, owning a jet, being, listen, at the minimum, being debt-free, at the minimum, being debt-free. See, these are big-time dreams. Are you going to get your dreams? I know those things might seem high for a lot of folks. When we talk about a mansion, if somebody's been living in a 1,500 square foot home and you say mansion, that could be a large stretch. But you used to think about it in the sandbox when you were playing around with the other kids and everybody was talking about what they're going to be. Nobody said, man, when I get old and when I grow up, I'm going to live in a 2-bedroom apartment with roommates. Who said that? Nobody. When I grow up, I'm going to have an old beat-up Volkswagen with rust all around it. Who said that? Nobody said that. And so what we got to do is we got to choose our life. And we start choosing our life by what dreams do we want to achieve. That's where it really starts. You size up your dreams. And then once you size up your dreams, you got to make some choices here on the options, the money. What's your money options that will allow you to have the lifestyle, the life that you want? If you want to get these dreams knocked out, maybe you don't have a mansion, but maybe you have a nice home that's paid off. Maybe you don't have an exotic car, but all of a sudden you've got 3 or 4 nice cars that are paid off. Maybe you don't travel the world, but you hit 5 to 6 major destinations before you die. But one thing's for sure, you got to help some people. Maybe you don't have a yacht, but you take those incredible dream cruises. Maybe you don't own a jet, but you start flying private. And the least thing we do is get you debt-free. But what are the money options to get you there? Well, most people, they turn to a job. Now, how many people do you know that work a job get these things? Get the dreams. And are you waiting on inheriting the money? Are you waiting on winning the lottery or being a pro athlete or a movie star? See, we know for most people, those are not the right options for dreams. So we can't go into 2014 knowing we have to have competence, knowledge capacity, and increase that and say, I'm going to do the same thing. We're not going to do that in 2014. But what about people that own a successful business? And the key word is successful business. Do they get their dreams? Do they start accomplishing more than most people? Yes, yes, yes. Then we've got different types of businesses. Because we've identified now what? An option. That's the number one thing I want you to learn here on this screen is how to identify. Now we've identified an option to get us our dreams. People that have what? Successful businesses, they get their dreams. You got different types of businesses. You got a traditional business. You got a franchise. So let's talk about those two, for example. Traditional business. What if you're going to start up a restaurant? Or what if you're going to have a coffee shop? How much are you going to spend? You're going to spend about $250,000, really, on the low end for most people. And then you've got the headaches And with that, 85% of the people fail their first year with a traditional business. That's why people just roll back to a job. 14% break even, only 1% makes a profit. Most people, they know going into a traditional business not to expect to make a profit for 3 to 5 years. So for most people, that's not a good option. Then you have people that say, well, look, I want more stability with this business. I want somebody that has a successful system, so I'll get a franchise like a McDonald's or a Tim Hortons or a Dunkin' Donuts. Here's the issue with that. It costs a lot of money to buy that successful system, about $1.5 million in most cases. So for most people, that's not an option. So even though we've identified that owning a successful business, you see that check mark there? We've identified that that is an option to get us to our dreams, but for most people, the money and the rate of failure is just too heavy of a hill to climb. So that's why I look at option C, and I'm so passionate about option C. Because, see, network marketing, I can get involved, low startup, potential for high gain. For example, in Serenigy, the top I can get started is $1,499, $1,499. That's what the Global Ambassador Founders Pack. And those are only limited to 375 people. And when those are gone, the highest you can start is $999. That's the highest, is $999. So compare that to a traditional business. Compare that to a franchise. Am I getting you thinking right today? I got to get you 2014 on the right path. If I plug you in to a system like Serenigy, where it's low startup, it's not the hundreds of thousands or the millions of dollars with the traditional or a franchise business system, we give you a success system on top of it like a franchise. We show you how to be successful, but you don't have a lot to risk, which is the reason most people, when they get involved with network marketing, it's the reason most people fail. Because they get involved with network marketing, and they don't even work it like they would do a job. They work it like a hobby. So you can't become successful with your business treating it with a hobby. You have to work it at least with the mentality of a job. You got to at least show up. You got to put some time in. Then you got to learn those successful attributes like creating results, learning how to maximize the law of averages, all these great things that we continually teach you. So we've identified that network marketing with this low startup potential for high gain can get us to our dreams. This is the best option for the masses, but they don't know unless somebody tells them. And that's your job today, is to take that energy and that passion and stay consistent and allow the law of averages to help you go out there and get people plugged in and involved with the best option to get them to their dreams. You got to challenge people. Are you getting your dreams? How long is it going to be before you get your dreams? You got to be talking to people about these things, challenging people, and helping them become competent on the right option. Now, if your option is Serenigy, if that's your option, then you got to work on your keys to success. Your number one key to success in working the big business model with Serenigy is you've got to make sure you're producer qualified and you duplicate this over and over and over throughout your team. Producer qualified, that means you're going to maximize the lifetime benefits that come in the compensation plan. What does it take to be producer qualified? First, I've got to get my first 30-day mindset on. When I start and when I get my new person started, the clock starts right then. So everybody you're going to go recruit, you're going to bring into this business, you're going to ask them, do you want freedom? Do you want your dreams? Yes. Then we got to get your producer qualified. We got to get them off to a great start their first 30 days. That means they need to be set up on a 50 PQV AUTOSHIP. That's number one. Number two, They got to produce at least 500 PQV within the first 30 days. Now, personal qualifying volume. What all equals personal qualifying volume? Your orders, so whatever order you do counts toward that 500. What's a good way just to knock that 500 out right away? Buy a success pack, a success LPP pack. If you buy a standard for $4.99, that comes with 500 PV. If you buy a turbo for $9.99, that's 1,000 PV. If you buy a global ambassador pack, that's 1,500 in PV. So by buying a pack and teaching people to purchase a success pack, I immediately help them hit that requirement. The next thing is I got to start getting people plugged into my business. I need to personally sponsor 3 active IBOs in separate legs. That means I've got to personally sponsor 3 separate people and make sure that they are in separate legs. I can't sponsor someone and put them under someone else. That's the same leg. I need to have them in at least 3 legs. What's an active IBO? They have to have a 50 PQB auto ship. This is very, very important. I need 3 active IBOs with 50 PV and then set up on a 50 PV auto ship. Here's the next thing. I need to generate 2,000 in group qualifying volume. Also, my 60% rule applies. What's 60% of 2,000? 1,200. So when I go build this group volume, I can't use any more than 1,200 from any one leg. Now watch how simple this is. If I started with at least a standard LPP, which is $4.99, that gives me 500 in volume. You got that? In group and qualifying volume. Now, if I go sponsor 3 other people and I help them do the same, they each have done 500. That's 1,500 plus my 500. That's 2,000. Done it. I am now producer qualified and get to maximize the benefits of the comp plan. What if I started with a turbo pack, a $9.99? That's 1,000 QV. What if I personally sponsored someone that did a turbo? That's 1,000. You got that? So that's my 2,000 there. Now all I need is another 2 people I sponsored that have at least 50, and I've done it. What if I got started with the Global Ambassador Founder Pack? I've got 1,500. I paid $14.99. I've got 1,500 in QV. But what happens if I go personally sponsor someone, and they all of a sudden they get a $500 standard pack? How much is that? That's 2,000. Did I do it? No, because I can only use 1,200 of my 1,500. So 1,200 plus that 500 that I personally sponsor someone would be what? 1,700. So between 2 other people or the person that I plugged in, I've got to generate that other 300. What also counts towards the volume? My customers. My retail customers that order through my site. Watch this. My preferred customers. That's what's so awesome about what I've done with this plan. I'm allowing the preferred customer volume, which is a rare thing in this industry, to count towards your personal qualifying volume. This is what's going to be amazing, especially when people are attacking the 3 for free system. 3 to get 3 to get 3 to get 3, and everybody say they're just preferred customers trying to get their products for free. What happens? All that volume's going. So if I attack my first 30 days, producer qualified is about attacking the first 30 days. And see, right now we're new. The folks that were in Serenigy from before, they had an opportunity. What I told everybody that was in before, so from December 31st back to September 2012, I told everybody, I said, I'm giving you all those months to get these qualifications done. If you don't get at least that done within all those months, so instead of 30 days, I gave them over 3 months. I said in December, you just needed to place at least a 200 order. Then in January, I'll give you January to get producer qualified. Some people did it. Some people didn't. So if a person didn't do it, they can't be producer qualified. So what we've got to do now is focus on who wants to build this, because I'm not looking back. Who wants to build it? Whoever wants to build it, we got to get them plugged in. We got to get them competently thinking about how to be successful. This is going to be the key for your business builders. Now, I got to make sure that you understand this. Note, 80% of the people you sponsor are going to be part-time, supplemental income people who don't need to focus on getting producer qualified. I want to make sure everybody understands that. 80%. 20% of the people you sponsor, they're going to be the ones that focus on getting producer qualified. Who are these people? Let's identify. Let's get trained. Let's pick up some competence here. You're going to think about this. These are people that want to replace their income. They no longer want to work a job. And these are also people who want to get financially free. Those are the two people. So write that down. People that want to replace their income, meaning no more job, or they want to get financially free. Did you get that down? Now, once I understand that, and I'm consciously, competently going 80%, so I don't want anybody in Serenigy pressuring anybody to do anything. We let people do what they want to do. We understand the numbers. The law of averages says about 80% are not. Now, here's what you got to learn. You got to increase your knowledge capacity, and you got to make sure you're taking notes so you can look back at this, because once you go out and start applying this, you're going to get things coming at you, and if you're not paying attention to what I'm telling you, you're going to get thrown off. You'll get discouraged. Here's where most people get confused and most people get discouraged. Almost every person who starts in network marketing says that they want to replace their income or they want financial freedom. And so the sponsor is listening to what the people say. Now, I got to tell you, most people just don't know, don't understand, don't have an idea. They weren't taught it, just like you weren't taught it. You got to remember their competence, their knowledge capacity is limited. That's most people. Until they get in and they start experiencing it, then it sorts out where they really fit. So don't get discouraged when you have a lot of people, and most people tell you they want financial freedom, yet they only work to supplement their income. It's okay. It's the way it is. Don't argue with it. Why does the sun come up in the east? It just does. As the great late Jim Rohn says, don't try to argue about that. Don't spend your time going nuts about why do people say they want to do one thing, and most of them do the exact opposite. That's just the way it is. So when I have the knowledge capacity, I also reduce my stress level. As I increase my knowledge and I start getting wisdom, and I stop letting myself run off of emotions of what people say, and I just start working the law of averages. I start going, hey, I know if I sponsor, 100 people, well, 80 of those people are going to just supplement. 20 are going to either replace their income or they're going for financial freedom. They're going for that. So see, every time I'm sponsoring people, I got that in mind. But that's why it's so important to continue to actively sponsor and don't sit back. I tell people, you work it for 2 years, all out, sponsoring at least one success pack per week for 2 years. That's really the roadmap you want to focus on. That way you've got a great supply of new talent, new blood in. It allows the ways of people's lives to weed out the things that people have come up. There's different events, there's tragedies, there's distractions, there's all kind of stuff that comes up. That's why I'm going to work my law of averages, and I'm not going to be emotional. I'm going to be professional. I have the knowledge capacity to continue to navigate my way to success. So this is important when it comes to producer qualified. Most people are going to tell you they're getting after it, and then most of them are not going to do it. That's okay. How do you know when you've got someone that's going to get after it? When they do it, when they take the steps. Now here's the greatest part about increasing the opportunity to get more people producer qualified. Here's the key. You be producer qualified. You lead by example. In 2014, it's requiring of you to lead by example if you want success. If it's time to stop letting years pass by and resolutions fall by the wayside, then you're going to have to be the greatest. And here's going to have to be your motto with your team. Watch me. Watch me. Not what I tell you to do, but watch what I do. And if you follow me, because you got to say, I'm getting rich. You don't have to, but I'm getting rich. And I'm here to support you in any way you want. And you got to get great at this, because most network marketers are terrible at this. They guilt their people out. They get people who, because people are all caught up in emotion about what people said. Don't guilt anybody out ever in Serenigy. Let it be what it is. Work with those that want to be worked with. Support those that want support. They don't want it, be there for them, but you keep moving and working your numbers. Everybody got that? Be producer qualified. And if you're not, then here's what you've got to do. Now, I got all kind of messages. All kind of messages that came in. Man, you ought to see my email box this morning. You ought to see my Facebook messages. Everybody said, I'm like, listen, I'm the founder, I'm the CEO of the company, I'm busy. You want to work these field issues through your advisory members, your advisory board members. That's why I set Gabby Tolber, Sam and Elisa Thomas up as field advisory members. They're going to play such an important role. They're going to be some of your favorite people ever, and they're going to end up having other staff work for them to help assist with the field. And here's the key. People are coming going, I messed up, Mr. Noland. Oh, I didn't get my producer qualified. I didn't hear about the 200 that I had to have in at least if I didn't meet it. Is there any chance for me? And I'm having fun, you know. And here's what I'm going to say. When I get into these next slides, we'll create an opportunity. For all of those who didn't pay attention, we're going to create one last opportunity. And then that's it, because now there's no more excuses, because everybody's paying close attention. We'll create one. As I move through these other slides, we're going to allow folks that are SG Success System members, they have an opportunity to get it back. So you got that? So if you messed up and everybody, you know, I'm getting these messages from like my people, and somebody was on vacation, and somebody was in Indonesia, and somebody was in Australia. Hey, listen, I'm going to give this one last shot. Here's your streamline. If you're an SG Success System member, which, by the way, is the key to fast growth, then you get another shot this month, and that's it. So there you go. That's it. Here we go. You listening carefully? Because you couldn't get in unless you understand this. And you better make sure you're people. Because some of you got people that are all crying and discouraged and didn't know. Here's their chance. This is it. This is where I cracked the code in network marketing. Now, I've built 7 multi-million-dollar producing sales teams in network marketing. 7. And every time, and each one was different. Each time was a little bit different with every team. Different talent levels. Back then, you know, I wasn't the founder and the CEO of the companies. I was a co-founder of one. So at least I helped found one company. But before that, 5 other companies. I was a distributor, working the business like everyone else. But the reason my teams were always some of the fastest growing teams in the companies, if not the fastest growing, was because I would crack the code. I figured out how to make it simple for my team to understand. If you can master duplication, and all duplication is just get people to where they understand, and then give people a structure. What people need is discipline. And what happens with most network marketing teams, the reason they're not successful is because they have no structure. They have no discipline. And just like a child that has no structure or discipline is unhappy and for the most part an unproductive being, it's the same way in network marketing. If you don't provide a structure and discipline for your team and a set levels of expectations, you won't have happy motivated, productive people. And so what I would always do over these years with my teams is I would crack the code. You know, I tried one way with this team, and I go, ah. And see, back then, man, my first 2 or 3 years, man, it was just in the trenches. Primarily, it was just ripping. We were building, and guess what? You would get left in the track so fast, and I was going after top producers, and I was going after their top producers in different companies, and we were attacking. So I always had these people, for the most part, I had a good amount of people who had some type of experience or success in network marketing, and I'd have a base of those people, and we would just go crush. But as I've been graduating through up the scale in network marketing to becoming a master distributor and then a co-founder, now the founder of a company, what I've been doing is I've been looking longevity. I've been studying companies like Amway, Shackley, Herbalife, Nu Skin, Melaleuca. I've been looking at the, like Tahitian Noni. What are these great giants that have stood the test of time? What is it that they've done? What are they best at doing? And what they're best at doing is nurturing and cultivating and developing leaders. And for most of those companies, it's hard to recruit their distributors out of those companies. Try to recruit a die-hard Amway person out of Amway. Try it. I mean, I'm good at recruiting, and I've tried to recruit a lot of folks. And I remember back in the day, I never will forget, I was down in Tampa, Florida, just made around $6,000, about $6,600 that month. And I had been in the business about a year. And I made around $6,600 one month. And a guy came in, and he didn't really know what was going on. He saw the presentation. Oh, no, you know, I'm in Amway. How long you been? He said, 3 years. I said, what was your check last month? He said, $42. I said, 3 years? $42? I said, you kidding me? I said, look, and back then we could show checks. So I pulled out a copy of my check. I said, look, that's what I made, and I've been in the business about a year or less. That's what I made last month. And he looked at me and goes, that's great. He goes, but I got a 10-year plan. I know where I'm going. And that blew me away. And every time I would try to recruit some of those people out of some of those, it just wouldn't work. And me and my team, we were blowing it up. You know why? They nurtured, they cultivated these teams with loyalty, and they taught them how to focus long-term and to stick with one company and to go through the ups and downs, the trials and tribulations, and don't complain, don't be negative, don't disparage the company, its founders, its leaders, its exec teams. Don't do any of that stuff. Just stay the course, learn, increase your knowledge capacity. That's all these folks are teaching. So as I progressed, I said, I'm going to do the same thing. And that's how I set Serenigy up. I got that model to where I said, I'm just going to cultivate. I'm going to nurture. I'm going to build. I'm going to educate, train, and get the right people to grow up with me in this company, knowing that most people, as they're going to come and go, but there will be a crop of people that raise up and then they duplicate. And then they duplicate. I understand getting 10 good leaders, raising them up and letting them generate and duplicate 10 good leaders. That's 100. So, you know, I understand that 100 that generates and duplicates another 10, that gets us to 1,000. And 1,000 duplicating 10 gets us to 10,000 who duplicate 10. Gets us to 100,000 who duplicates 10, but gets us to 1,000,000. So I'm not worried about getting there. I'm going to work my numbers. I'm going to stay in my progression. So over these years, I would always get to the point where I would crack the code. My prior company, I cracked that code. We were going. I never will forget it, man. You know, we started, we got going. We were around March of 2008, and then, you know, we started getting product in the field around June, and then July rolled around. We're doing around 250,000 in business, and in September, around 300,000 in business, and then we grew all the way up in December to 470-some thousand in business, and then I got the team on the phone. I sit down and start scratching numbers because I'm also a banker. You know, I was a mortgage broker and banker for years. And so I'm good with understanding numbers. And numbers tell the whole story. So I started scratching out these numbers, and then I gave people a plan to go hit these numbers. And listen, I'm telling y'all, this was incredible. When I started teaching people to hit these numbers, it was incredible. When I laid out a plan and gave them structure and discipline, they started dominating. It was awesome. We jumped from 473 to the next month we went to about 580. The next month we went to 850. The next month we went to 1.25 million. The next thing you know, we were at 2 million a month, and then bam, it's gone to tens of millions per month because I cracked that code. And back in May of this year, I cracked the code for Serenigy. I cracked it. And the numbers, which tell the whole story, proved it. The only challenge we had was we went through a challenge. We went through this speed bump to where we had to do readjusting, and I had to relaunch the company. Don't even want to get into all whys and who's and what. It's irrelevant. I got people dealing with that. But what proved itself from around mid-May to the very beginning of June, this is within a 2-week period, it was unbelievable what happened with the growth when I implemented the system. So as I was getting prepared for 2014, I said, I already cracked the code back in May. Now I'm ready. I got to implement, and I'm going to set that structure for people who want to grow fast. I'm going to set a structure for people who want something to shoot for. I'm going to set the structure. This is your structure if you want to go build a business, because you got to give people something to shoot for and show them how to do it. So I created the SG Success System. Now, the Success System is based on 2 phases. It's based on a retailing phase and a recruiting phase. Again, it's the key to fast growth. I can't emphasize that enough. It will explode you in production if you learn to duplicate this. This is a fast growth call today. Remember, 80% are just going to supplement. I'm talking to the fast people that want to replace their income, no jobs. And you know what? We can get a lot of folks out of their jobs by the end of the year just with this system. We can start setting people financially free by the end of the year. They can be well on their way to experiencing what financial freedom feels like by the end of this year. And so what we do is we teach this. Now here's the SG Success System. Phase 1, the retail portion. You buy an SG Success System pack. The pack is $500 wholesale. So the wholesale is $500. Here's the beautiful thing about this pack. It comes with $592 in wholesale products. So a person gets how much? They get $92, almost $100 in products for free with this pack. Now here's the explosive part about this pack. It comes with dollar for dollar in CV, dollar for dollar. Now most of all of our products are not dollar for dollar. They run somewhere around 60 to 76% on the dollar. So for example, a box of black is 18 wholesale. The CV is 13. So you're not dollar for dollar, and you get paid commissions based on the CV. The CV stands for commissionable volume. Write it down. Commissionable volume. When a person buys this pack for $500, we give them dollar for dollar CV. But check out this next part. We give them 750 QV, which would normally be 500 QV. So they get 250 more in qualifying volume. What does that do? It helps explode people up through the ranks to make more money. Now check this out. Remember our personal customer commissions? And we got that spell wrong there. This is personally customer commissions, because we're talking about, I got personally sponsored. I'm already into the recruiting phase, but that's personal customer commissions. So it's a minimum. Because remember, 201 up to 500 in CV pays a 10% commission. So the minimum a person is going to get back on that pack is $50 in a commission. Just their own personal customer commission. Does everybody understand that? So that's the pack. So I can stop right there for a second, and we can talk to all the folks who didn't hit. So all the folks that were in December 31st or before, 2013 or before in Serenigy, everybody who didn't hit producer qualify, who didn't get the 200 PV done in December. Some folks said, I didn't get it, whatever the reason, doesn't matter. If you purchase the SG Success System pack, you have the month of January to become producer qualified. And by the way, that's going to hit 500 of the 2,000 you got to do anyway. So I'm going to give you this month only for those who didn't do it before December 31st or before. So the folks that did the 200 last month, aren't you glad? Because you got a reduction in your qualifications. Here, I'm giving it out, but it's also something that people that really want to build, they need to do anyway. So that's the window. So I know our field advisory board members, Gabby Tolbert, Sam and Lisa Thomas, are extremely happy. I know they had those questions. They wanted to have a call with me this afternoon to talk to me about some of these things. There you go. I gave you the out. Okay, now check this out. There's an extra bonus for AUTOSHIP. Okay, there's an extra bonus for AUTOSHIP. Now, this pack here I'm talking about, this is based here like USA and Canada, but the SG Success System is available in all countries that we ship in. Now, it's 500. You still get 500 CV. Your 750 QV is just because the product prices are different, so the content of those packs will be a little different because there's different prices depending on what country you're in. But I'm just giving you the example here in the USA, but it's similar around the world. It's always at least $550 or more in products. So a person always, no matter what country they're in, going to save at least $50. So there you go. So now, there's an extra bonus for AUTOSHIP. Now, if you set your SG Success System pack on AUTOSHIP before the 10th of the following month, if you set it up on the 1st, you get a $50 SG product credit to use any way you want. And my coders are coding that product credit into where you'll be able to go in the back office and you'll be able to utilize it. And we'll give you the way before we get to the 1st of this next month, that will be set up. So the 1st of the month, if you set up your SG Success System pack on the 1st of the month, you'll get a $50 product credit. So you're getting back a minimum 10% personal customer commissions. And why do I say minimum? Because if you got more than that 500 going between your customers through that order, it's possible on that 500 order that you can get 25%. See, between you and all your customers, remember, all the orders that are going through your ID and between you and your preferred customers, you can earn up to 25%. So there's an opportunity for you to get 25% back on that 500. That's some great commissions. So when you think about it, what's 25% of 500? Let's do some math here. I don't want to guess, so I'm even going to pull out my calculator. So 500 times 25%, that's $125. Come on. This is awesome. So that's a great way to make some great customer commissions. So you got that? So if I set it up on the 5th of the month and it runs successfully, I get a $25 credit. If I set it up on the 10th of the following month, I get a $10 SG product credit. So that gives you an opportunity to get some fast momentum going into the next month. So this is an SG Success System. Now, why do I set this pack? So, for example, here in the U.S., this comes with 30 boxes of product. So you get, for example, here in the USA, it's different around the world, 7 boxes of black, 7 latte, 6 mocha, 2 green tea, 2 rooibos, 2 chai, 2 hot chocolate, 2 peach mango. It's 30 boxes. Now, check, the normal CV on that would be like 434 in CV. So we get 500 CV. So 30 boxes. So why do I set that up? Because on the success system, I'm setting the parameter for a person to get used to selling at least a box of coffee or tea per day. At least a box of coffee or tea per day. Now, I'm going to come up with a few different other SG success packs as we grow. Right now, this is what it is. Whatever that pack is, that's what it is in that system. So right now, we've got it set at a certain content. It's available right now. It's live right now in your back office. And I want people selling around a box a day. Why? Because if they sell about a box a day, they're going to make around $300 to $500 in retail profit per month. I want people selling this product all the time because it does a lot with success. What does it do? It gives us the opportunity to have more success because we got more product in the marketplace. Selling on average a box a day. If you were focused, if your job was just to sell coffee and that's the way you made your living, every one of you would sell way more than a box a day. So what we've done is set a parameter to go, we're going to do what we're telling other people to do. We're not going to be so focused on recruiting other people to do what we don't want to do. That's the curse in the industry. Everybody's out there trying to recruit people to do what they don't want to do. You got to get products. The number one backbone of network marketing. You buy products wholesale, you got to sell it. You got to use it, and then you got to sample it, and you got to sell it to other people, end consumers. If you just focus totally on recruiting, that's where the regulators get upset. They call it a pyramid. If that's all you're focused on is recruiting. And in Serenigy, we do real network marketing, real free enterprise, real capitalism to where we teach people to do it. So that's why I set this parameter. And if you do that, you've got that product in your hand. You're going to need it anyway. I was setting that up for you on a call the other day. So you're going to need around $500 or more in products to personally consume, to sample, to sell. I want you used to selling. And that's why I said $500, because some of this you're going to just personally use. So I want you to make that $300 to $500 a month. That will keep 85% of the people who had to file bankruptcy out of bankruptcy. Just selling about a box a day. A box a day keeps bankruptcy away. That's how powerful a box a day is. So that is the parameters behind the retail portion of the success system. Now, how to be an SG Success Team member. So what we're going to do, and if for those of you that remember from before, there was a list in the back office. That list is coming back within the next 3 to 4 days. You'll see that list go back up. You want your name on that list. Recognition. People work for a living, they'll die for recognition. We're going to know who's leading by example. We're going to know it. So you'll see the names go up who are success team members. So anyone who either buys an SG Success System pack, they're on the list, or if a new person enrolls with a Turbo LPP or higher, their name goes on the list. That takes care of the new people. So the people already in, get an SG Success System pack. Your name goes on the list. If you're a new person getting started, you want to tell your people, you want to be on that list. So if you start with the LP Turbo or higher, you're on the list. Or if they enroll with a standard LPP and have the SG Success System pack set up on AUTOSHIP by the 10th of the next month, their name goes on the list. So if they buy a standard and then they set it up on AUTOSHIP by the 10th, either the 1st, 5th, or 10th of next month, bam, you go up. So when completed, your name will be added to the SG Success System members list in the SG back office. This is going to be my favorite list. Now, the phase 2, which is recruiting, it says phase 1 there, but that should be phase 2. So phase 2 of the system is recruiting. Now, recruiting must be an SG Success System member. So you got to buy that pack. Or you got to do one of the other following that we talked about. Turbo or higher, or be on the pack and set up on AUTOSHIP. Or standard, set on AUTOSHIP. You must personally sponsor at least 4 standard LPPs or higher during the current volume month. You got that? Must personally sponsor at least 4 standard LPPs or higher during the current volume month. Why is this important? You see what's in the middle of that screen? $300 extra bonus for every 4 LPPs sold. Now watch this. If you sell, this is on top of your Fast Start bonus. This is on top of your other commissions. If you sell more than 4 standard LPPs or above during the current volume month, you will be credited the extra LPPs for the following month. Once you reach 4 again, you're going to earn another $300 bonus. This is going to be off the charts, the money that's flying around. Anyone who earns an SG Success System recruiting bonus, so anybody that earns that bonus will have a star beside their name and will become part of the exclusive MVP list. So we'll have an all-star list. So the one from before, you showed the ranks. Here we're going to have people that are on the SG Success System. They'll be what was considered our all-stars. People that have achieved a recruiting bonus will become the MVPs. I'm setting up an additional bonus between those people that can be earned. And we'll set up a little point system to show you how to earn additional monies if you're in those particular bonus pools. This is going to be off the charts at what this creates. I'm so excited about this. I'm so excited. Now, let's talk about some theoretical commission examples. Because, a lot of folks, they hear it, they want to know, how does the numbers play out? And so I like to, for the sake of explaining the compensation plan, kind of lay out how the numbers will play out. How can you turn this system into solid, supplemental, replacement income, or financial freedom money? It's just that simple. Again, this is cracking the code because it's showing people a structure, giving them a discipline to work. Now, here's what happens. Let's talk about a 3-level example. We get paid 10 levels in the unilevel. Let's just talk about a 3-level example with the SG Success System. Here's what we want to do. We want to go out of 7 billion people in the world. I taught this, man, and people started busting this out. Go get 10. We know we got our compensation plan that's based on the power of 3, and you rock those 3. But the way to get a good duplicating 3 is to have 10 or more that you personally sponsor. So go find 10 to duplicate the system with. The reason I raised that bar with 10 because it's coffee. It's just so simple to duplicate. So if you've got 10 and you do this and you duplicate this with 10, what's 10 times 500 in CV? That's 5,000. So that creates 5% on a unilevel bonus because you make 5% on the first level. That's $250 in residual income per month. And you want to teach your people to make residual income. That's $250. Just that simple. You got that? Now, that's just the first. So if I teach 10 people to duplicate the first portion, the retail portion, selling a box a day, they're making $300 to $500 retail profit a month, right? But if I taught 10 people to do that, I'm doing it. I'm making an extra $300 to $500. Plus, I put $250 extra in my pocket in residual income, which for most people to be the first time they made any residual income. If I duplicate that to the second level, and I teach my 10 to duplicate 10 people on the SG Success System, I'll have 100 people working that system. What's 100 times 500 in volume, in commissionable volume? That's 50,000. What's 50,000 times 5%? That's 2,500. That's 2,500 now. So now when I take my 2,500 and then I put that together with my 250, now I've got $2,750 in what? Residual income plus my retail profit. How is that sounding? Is that helping people to start make some money, to start changing their lives? See, the first level, I'm supplementing. I'm residual income supplementing. That $250 that comes in, I can pay a car payment, residual. And it's not a lot of work. It's not hard. That second level, now at around $2,750 a month, $2,750 a month in this example, what's that doing? Now I got people, I can start replacing their job income. I can get them out of the job. I take this one more level, right? And now I've got 100 people all duplicating 10. I've got 1,000, and what's that times 500 in commissionable volume? That's 500,000 times what? 5% on that third level. That's $25,000. So now I've got $25,000 that I'm making on that third level. See, plus I'm making that $2,750. So now I'm at $27,750. How am I doing? See, now I'm not talking about just replacing. Now I'm talking about financial freedom. So you see the power of that three-level example of just showing people how to go sell a box of coffee a day. Go sell a box of coffee a day. Go find 10 people to sell a box of coffee or tea a day. 10. And then help them find 10 to find 10. And now I'm approaching financial freedom. On top of that, remember, you get the QV, the commissionable volume. You get 750. So if I got 10 people at the beginning just doing 750, I'm at 7,500 in qualifying volume. Now we're breaking goals left and right. We're having folks just scream the goal. And if we do that right away, now we got people earning free iPads and Galaxy tabs right away. We got people getting producer qualified. They're knocking it out the box. No problem. Sell it. Get 10 people. Sell a box of coffee a day. So then the second level of 100 people are all doing the success system. That's $750 I get per person in qualifying volume. That's $75,000. Now I'm breaking executive marketing directors. Now I'm getting paid on the entire company's volume as an executive marketing director, just on the second level. And all I've got is 110 people doing this. You hear about these people, generating teams of 30 and 40,000, and you hear about these great stories. You don't need 30, 40,000 with this. 110 people. You can replace your income at your current job. You're getting paid on the whole company. And this is just one way we get paid, by the way. So it includes your other ways of commissions. If I take it to the third level, and I teach those 100 to go get 10, and everybody is doing the success system, that's 750 times 1,000 people. That's 750,000. Now I'm breaking ambassador black diamonds. I'm one step from the very, very top of the entire compensation plan. And got over $27,000 a month coming in residual income in this theoretical example. Now, what if I teach people to go from all-star and I teach 10 people to become MVPs? And not only are they duplicating the retail part of the success system, they're duplicating the recruiting part of the success system. And people are popping these $300 bonuses all over the place. But what happens? If I've got 10 people doing that, that's an additional, because that pack right now comes with 250 in CV if it's just a standard pack. And I'm only talking about a standard on the LPP in this example. Not talking about turbos or global ambassadors or even when the 818 pack starts rolling again. Not even talking about that. We're talking about just a standard. That's 250 additional CV. That's an additional 2,500 in CV. That's picking up another $125 in commissions per month. So now I'm at $375 on my first level, and my QV jumps as well. See, I've got another 500 in QV per person. That's another 5,000. What's so significant about that 5,000? That 7,500 I had from the retail portion, I put that with the 5,000 from the recruit portion. portion, that's 12,500. Now what are we breaking? Directors. Now we got people getting car bonuses on top of all this. And what level are we on? The first level. First level, 10 people hitting that SG success system. Now we're breaking directors. And we're making an additional what in just residual income? $375 plus our retail profit and our other commissions. Now I take it to the second level. Wow, this thing gets explosive then. I add another $1,250 in commissions because now I've got 100 people all doing that extra $250 in volume. That's $25,000. I'm picking up 5% on that. That's $1,250. So now I'm at $3,750 per month, $3,750 per month. But you got to add that to your other $375. So now I'm over $4,100 per month. Now I'm making over $4,000 a month. How am I doing on that second level? And I'm at $125,000 in qualifying volume. So now I'm exploded. Now we got people almost hitting diamond because it's only $150,000. You add what I call another straggler volume to it, bam! Now you're breaking diamonds on that second level, 110 people. Woo! Powerful. Now we break down to the third level, and now we've got, if people are hitting the step 2 phase, the phase 2 of the recruiting, now I got 1,250 folks, 1,250, and that's $250,000 extra a month. At 5%, that's an extra $12,500. So now I'm at $37,500 a month. But I add that with my other, I'm over $41,000 a month. If I add that with my second and first levels, $41,000 a month. I duplicated 3 levels. I simply told people to do what? Sell a box of coffee a day. By selling a box of coffee a day, they're going to be in front of so many people that some of those people are going to become distributors. So on average, it's no big deal when a person is in the field moving the business. They're going to get people in the business. And we're talking about what? 1 per week, 1 LPP per week. When you're selling a box a day, it's doable. It's doable. It's attainable. So the key here is who are the right people. That's the key. Who are the right people? That's really what we want to focus on. Or who are the right people? I need 100 leaders that are out here busting this right now. I need 100 leaders that are tearing this up right now. They're not waiting. They're not setting back. They're not contemplating to consider to evaluate. I need 100, and that comes with 10. I'm looking for my first 10 to duplicate the system. I know not everybody. I got thousands of people in Serenigy. I'm looking for my first 10. And with that 10, I'll get to those 100. Those 100, we will then dominate network marketing. I promise you. We will be the talk of the industry because nobody can run with this teaching, these philosophies, this product, the comp plan all put together. It's impossible. Nobody's going to out-promote me. Nobody's going to out-passion me. Nobody's going to out-train me because I'm going to duplicate 10 people to go at it the same way. They're going to go at it. They don't have to speak like me. They don't have to talk like me. They got a passion like me. They got to be excited like me, and the rest will fall into place, just like my mentors told me when I used to see them on that stage. When I used to see them up on the stage, and I'm listening to how they're laying things out and how they spoke and motivated, moved people. I didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to present. They told me, just catch the passion, catch the mindset, and then the words will begin to come out of your mouth. And it's going to be the same thing for you. Who are my first 10? So it all begins when I start seeing people go, I heard the call for 2014. I'm going to the back office. I'm purchasing my success system right now. I'm going to buy that system. I'm going to be moved. I'm going to have that system. I'm going to have that product spoken for. And here's the key. Get half of it sold before it even gets to you. Get half of it sold, or at least a third of it. Go out and tell people it's 2014. You got your New Year's resolutions. Every person in their New Year's resolutions, almost every person says they want to get healthier this year. Well, guess what? I'm going to help you right away. I'm going to get you on a healthier coffee. If you don't drink coffee, I'm going to get you on a healthier tea right now. I'm going to get this incredible, miraculous herb in your body. You're going to feel better than you've ever felt. We're going to flood your body with oxygen with these products, and I deserve to get your business. If you're going to give it to somebody else, I want a shot at your business. If you like my product, I'll show you how to get it in wholesale. If you don't like it, I'll never ask you to buy anything from me again. This is how we build. That's how you passion this thing. Who are my first 10? That's the whole key here. That's the whole key. So I laid out a simple theoretical example how we take this plan and we turn it to cash. What happens when we get into that fourth level? Do y'all know what happens at that fourth level? Huh? It starts to absolutely shock people. Now we start getting into create millionaires on the fourth level. We go from just financially free to all of a sudden we start creating millionaires. We get down to the fifth level, we start creating multimillionaires. Man, what happens on our way to the 10th level is shocks everybody. And if you listen to me, you follow this training, you apply it, and you don't listen to anything else and focus on to anything else other than getting the results, getting the job done. You don't get distracted. You don't get discouraged. You know you're going to have people say no, and you know there's going to be some people to say yes. So what? Keep it moving. So your words for the year, your phrase for the year is keep it moving. Just keep it moving. No matter what, I'm going to keep it moving. So the key here is how bad do you want it? Momentum is what's going to determine your success. Momentum. You have got to have momentum. The first phase, I've taught this over and over, but I wanted to make this a point on January the 1st. You got to create momentum. I gave you a plan to create momentum. Create it. You watch as these commission checks start flooding the field this month. You watch what happens. Naturally, people are going to be excited then. Don't wait till the wave is past. I want you to help me paddle and catch the wave. And we catch it through creating momentum. Then we maintain momentum by constant new blood coming into the system. New people with new excitement, with new energy, with new contacts. Always new. That's why I say, sell 1 pack per week for 2 years. And you probably will never even think about having to work again. Just sell a pack. Sell a box of coffee a day on average and sell 1 pack a month, 1 pack per week for a month. Do it for 2 years. Teach 10 people to do the same. And they be as motivated as you to teach 10 people. You're not going to be worried about money anymore. All you got to do now is just keep maintaining it. Just keep new people coming in and keep your people getting, because everybody that starts is in create phase. And then once you go from create to maintain, let me tell you something. Now you become just gasoline on the fire. You're explosive growth. You move in explosive growth. It's just a different game. You don't answer to anybody. You wake up when you want. You take the vacations you want. You don't even have to be around hardly. I'm telling you, you can just show up once or twice a month in a city, do an event, and that's it. You're not working the grind on the network. This grind of getting it off the ground, you don't have to do that. It takes you about 2 years, man. And then you never have to go grind it anymore. Never. You just show up here and there. You get on, do some conference calls with your team. You know, you have a weekly call. You set up a little maintenance thing where you just check in on. I'll show you how to structure it. I'll show you how to have the calls, what to say on the calls, with who to do the calls with. I'll say, okay, you have a directors and above call this day. You have an exec call this day. And then you're going to have your diamond call this day. And here's what you say on the calls. And, you spend, hour, maybe an hour, 2 hours per week on your business. And you got flooded residual income coming in. It's over. You're done. Is it worth you creating momentum? How bad do you want it? That's my question for you. How bad do you want it? Are you going to sit there and you're going to continue to let things happen? Or is this going to be the year that you make things happen? You create this explosive growth. See, listen to what this is. Happy New Year. See, this is the new year for you to be what? Happy. See, most people, they're not really happy. They go from new year to new year, but they never really get the first part of what they're saying to everybody, and what everybody's saying to them. They never get the happy part. Everybody just moves into a new year. But this year, it's time to have a happy new year. It's time to be happy this year. And for me to be happy this year, I got to be happy today. I got to be excited today. I got to have the right energy today. I got to bring it today like I've never brought it before. I got to do something drastic. It's January the 1st. First, don't you let this day finish. You see, last night, everything went off and the fireworks, and when that clock hit 12 around the world, and everybody was celebrating, and they were blowing, and everybody was, and all the tinsel was coming down, and people were excited. But see, tonight is when your ball drops. Don't you let tonight, midnight, hit without you doing something drastic. You want drastic results this year? You got to do something drastic today. January the 1st, you put your deposit on being happy this new year by what you do this day. Let all the energy that's going to flow through this year come off of what you did today. You say, I got a great happy new year because of my happy new day that I had on January the 1st. I didn't sit back and kick it and just let it go by. I did something drastic today. What's something drastic? For some of you, SG Success System. You got that SG Success System. You got it. Bam. See, some of you are going to go, look, I'm going to get the Global Ambassador Founder Pack. I'm going to set the bar for my team. So when I sit down and talk with people and people ask me, where did you start? There ain't going to be no guessing. It's not going to be no half-ass commitment here. When I'm sitting down talking with people, they're going to know that I'm all the way in. I got started as high as I could get started, or I got upgraded. For some of you, you can upgrade. If you want to upgrade, you get a hold of Gabby, you get a hold of Elisa or Sam, and they'll show you how to upgrade. It's going to be automated in the back office within the next 2 weeks, but for right now, you're working through your field advisory members. We'll get you upgraded. Some people say, I'm going to get upgraded. But I want everybody. Who are my first 10? Who are the first 10 that's going to do something? That's what I'm looking for. That's the reason. I wouldn't let this go by. I wasn't going to let today go by without me doing something drastic. I said, I'm going to do a training. I'm going to get people the foundation set. I'm going to get them to where they're thinking right. I'm going to increase their knowledge capacity today. I'm going to set the expectation and the bar today so we'll rock it this year. I cracked the code multiple times, and I just cracked it for you today. If you let it, it will work. If you work it, it will work. It'll work if you work it. And so, man, this has been a powerful training. But this training didn't mean anything to you if you don't get happy this year. And happiness comes through results. It comes through you being a productive, structured, disciplined individual. Every person that heard me teach this today can do what I just taught. Every one of you can do it. Every one of you can get an SG Success System pack today. Every one of you. People say, how do I do it? You do what the successful people do. You know what you do? You maximize by OPM. This has been a great call. I appreciate you taking this time. I love each and every one of you for everything that you are. And here's what I love you the most for everything that you're becoming. That's what I'm so excited for what you're becoming. I love, man, I don't have there's not one thing in me that doesn't appreciate so much of you. Your CEO, your founder of this company, I teach it straight up. I don't cut corners. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't waste time. That's how much I love you. I hope you embrace me for that. Some folks like a lighter teaching technique. Me, I like a results teaching technique so that I have a person take the stress off of their life. You deserve a better life. You do. What's in you is greatness. There's no one in the world like you. Not a person in the world. How unique, how valuable is one of thing? One of a thing. Diamonds are so valuable because there are few available. But there's only one of you. And if I get you to realize that today, the way I realized that over 18 years ago, I was unhappy when I walked in the door and saw this industry for the first time. I didn't have happiness in me. Have you ever been there where you didn't feel happy? Where you feel down and you don't understand why things are the way they are? And I walked in and I saw an industry that taught me how to be successful, that increased my knowledge capacity. And from day one, everything changed. My happiness increased. I started having happy New Years. As the New Year's came around, I got happier every year. And I got to tell you, I'm the happiest I've ever been. Because the more I apply this, the better I attract the right things to me. And that's what you really need. Some of you got things around you now that don't need to be there. It's holding you back. But when you embrace who you really are, and you let you be who you really are, you're going to attract the right people, and you're going to shed the wrong people. And the more real you get, the better it gets, and the happier you'll be. So let yourself be drastic today. Do something drastic. What is it that you have in your hand today? What is it that you can do for your business? See, this is the thing. People say, why do you talk so much about Serenigy? Because it's the one thing I know that can set people free. I got something that's a tool, a company that can set people free. And I treat it as precious because it's the freedom setter. That's why I push. That's why I work it. That's why I motivate. That's why I'm passionate. Because if I get you to embrace what I said today, if I get you to grab this today, folks, and you go apply what I just taught you, you're getting free. That's no doubt. You can guarantee your success through the application of what you heard today. You don't need a whole bunch of degrees. You need to become degreed in application of this knowledge today. Thank you for taking this time. Now it's action time. Who are my first 10 that I'm going to build this dynasty with? I'll see you in the back office. I'll run a report. Before I go to bed tonight, I'll stay up until at least midnight. And before 11:59 tonight, I'm going to run a report, and I'm going to see who did something drastic so I can make a note. Okay, here we go. Then I'm going to watch you duplicate. I'm going to see which of you get those first 2 in your team done, that they duplicated you. See, your 2 is powerful. Just get a couple people to get on it. Then I'm going to make another note. Then I'm going to see you get with the program and add another 2. Then I'm going to find out who are going to be my first 10 to teach 10 to do this system. Who is it? And we're going to sit down. You watch it. Man, I'm telling you, you'll hear me, you'll get a private call from me, and you'll hear me say, I've got a resort rented out at a certain place. We're going to meet there. I do this all the time with all the teams I've built. I say, I've got a resort. I'm renting it out. I want this handful of people to meet me there. We're going to spend 3 days together. You are not allowed to spend a dime. I'm going to spoil you. We're going to eat like kings and queens. You're going to live like you've never lived before, and we're going to get into a plan to come out of there and dominate. Who are these 10 that are going to be with me at this resort within the next few months? Who is it? Let's push. This is our year. Let's keep it moving. I see you at the tops. Y'all have a great one. Bye-bye.